Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that's about as comfortable as a chair made of active volcanoes, the world of nuclear-armed nations. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that information readily available with a quick Google search? And you wouldn't be wrong, but where's the fun in that? We're not just here to list off countries like we're reading a particularly bleak grocery list. Oh no. We're going on a journey, a delightful jaunt through the geopolitical landscape to uncover the who, the what, and the oh god, why of nuclear armament. So buckle up, make sure your phone is on silent. Unless you're tweeting about this video, then by all means let those notifications sing and get ready for a wild ride. First up on our nuclear world tour is Russia, a country that needs no introduction, mostly because their name strikes a certain primal fear into the hearts of grammar teachers everywhere. See, Russia's relationship with nuclear weapons is, shall we say, complicated. They've got more nukes than a discount fireworks stand on the 4th of July, enough to make even the most enthusiastic pyromaniac say, okay, maybe that's a bit excessive. We're talking thousands of warheads, each one capable of turning a bustling metropolis into a smouldering crater. It's a bit like their national dish. Borscht, hearty, a little intimidating, and potentially lethal if you add too much vodka, and trust me, they've got enough vodka. Next we have the United States, a nation founded on the principle of life, liberty, and the pursuit of enough firepower to vaporize the planet several times over. They were the first kids on the block to develop nuclear weapons, and let's just say they haven't been shy about reminding everyone ever since. Now, the US likes to present itself as a responsible nuclear power, a sort of global hall monitor with a few thousand missiles in its back pocket. But let's be honest, the only thing scarier than someone with a weapon is someone who insists they're the only ones responsible enough to have one. Still, you can't deny the US knows its way around a thermonuclear device. They've got the technology, the resources, and most importantly, the Hollywood explosions to prove it. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading east to the People's Republic of China, a nation that's been making some serious strides in the nuclear department. They may have joined the nuclear club a bit later than the US and Russia, but they're quickly making up for lost time. See, China's like that quiet student in the back of the class who suddenly aces the final exam, leaving everyone else wondering, wait, where did that come from? They've been steadily modernizing their arsenal, developing new missiles, and generally making it very clear that they're not afraid to throw their nuclear weight around. It's a delicate balancing act, but then again, so is eating noodles with chopsticks, and they seem to have mastered that. Bonjour and welcome to France, a country known for its romantic language, delicious pastries, and an arsenal of nuclear weapons that would make even the most jaded existentialists say, merde, that's a lot of firepower. France has always liked to see itself as a major player on the world stage. And what better way to command attention than with a few hundred nuclear warheads? They've got it all. Submarines that can launch nukes from beneath the ocean, fighter jets that can drop them from the sky, and probably a baguette or two with enough enriched uranium to power a small city. They claim it's all for deterrence, and maybe it is. But it's hard not to feel a little uneasy knowing that the same country that gave us the Eiffel Tower and Impressionist art also has the capacity to turn the planet into a radioactive wasteland. Next, we hop across the channel to the United Kingdom, a nation that's always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with its nuclear arsenal. On the one hand, it's a way of clinging to their former glory days as a global superpower. On the other hand, it's incredibly expensive and, potentially world-ending. Still, the UK remains committed to its nuclear deterrent, primarily through its Trident missile system. These underwater behemoths are essentially giant metal tubes filled with enough firepower to make even the most ardent Brexiteer reconsider their life choices. They say it's all about keeping the peace, but it's hard not to wonder if they're just holding on to these weapons in case they need to conquer the world again, this time with slightly more radioactive tea. Now we travel to Pakistan, a nation that's no stranger to geopolitical tension. They've got a lot on their plate, from economic challenges to social unrest, and, oh yeah, a nuclear arsenal that would make even the most seasoned diplomat sweat. Pakistan's nuclear program is a relatively recent development, but it's one they've pursued with a single-minded determination that's hard to ignore. They see it as a matter of national survival, a way to deter their arch-nemesis, India, and ensure their place in the world. It's a dangerous game of nuclear chicken, but one that Pakistan seems willing to play, even if it means risking everything. Speaking of India, let's pop over to the world's largest democracy, a nation with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and enough nuclear weapons to make Gandhi spin in his ashram. India's nuclear journey is a fascinating one, driven by a desire for self-reliance and a healthy dose of rivalry with their neighbour, Pakistan. They conducted their first nuclear test back in 1974, and since then, they've been steadily building up their arsenal, developing new missiles, and generally making it clear that they're not afraid to flex their nuclear muscles. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to maintain a peaceful image while simultaneously waving around enough firepower to make the entire subcontinent tremble. But hey, no one ever accused India of lacking ambition. Next, we arrive in Israel, a nation shrouded in secrecy, intrigue, and enough conflicting narratives to make your head spin faster than a dreidel during Hanukkah. Now, Israel has a bit of a don't ask, don't tell policy when it comes to their nuclear capabilities. They won't confirm or deny having nuclear weapons, which is a bit like refusing to say whether or not you have a pet dragon while standing in front of a giant smoking cave. Everyone knows they've got them, but no one's quite sure how many or how powerful they are. It's all very hush-hush, very cloak and dagger, very if we told you, we'd have to kill you. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to North Korea, a nation that's practically synonymous with unpredictability, isolation, and a penchant for theatrical displays of military might. North Korea's nuclear program is a constant source of international concern, and for good reason. They've been testing missiles like they're going out of style, threatening their neighbors, and generally acting like the kid in school who brings a stink bomb to show and tell. They claim it's all about self-defense, but it's hard not to see it as a desperate bid for attention and legitimacy on the world stage. It's a dangerous game they're playing, one that could have catastrophic consequences for everyone involved. Finally, we arrive in Iran, a nation with a long and storied history, a complex geopolitical landscape, and a nuclear program that's been the subject of intense scrutiny and debate for decades. Now, Iran insists that its nuclear program is entirely peaceful, focused on energy production and other civilian applications. But the international community remains skeptical, particularly given Iran's history of concealing aspects of its nuclear activities. They've been playing a delicate game of cat and mouse with the West enriching uranium, developing centrifuges, and generally walking a tightrope between international pressure and their own nuclear ambitions. It's a situation that's as volatile as it is uncertain, and one that could have major implications for global security. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the world's nuclear-armed nations. It's a sobering thought, isn't it, that we live in a world where such destructive power exists, where the fate of humanity rests on a knife edge of political maneuvering and military posturing. It's enough to make you want to crawl under your desk and wait for the apocalypse. But hey, at least we're all in this together, right? So the next time you're feeling stressed about your job, your love life, or your inability to fold a fitted sheet, just remember, it could be worse. You could be in charge of a country's nuclear arsenal. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our video. See you next time.